create like a website and a video on a particular global issue in our work. So we chose like deforestation and saving the trees. So we could ask you a few questions about what your opinion is on that type of thing and how it affects your native wildlife and that type of thing.
So what is your view on deforestation?
Okay, some of it's inevitable, like we're just going to grow, populations are going to grow, so we can't stop it. So the best thing we can do is try and manage it. That's the best we can do, okay? So I think there needs to be a very balanced view on how you do it. Some of it is more critical, I guess, than others, because some areas, with deforestation, when you take that habitat away, that destroys the entire habitat of the species. So there's no recovering from that. So when they do environmental impact statements and stuff like that, it needs to be a very balanced decision on what the impact of that deforestation or that project is going to be. So it has to be a balanced discussion. Some people just say, oh, there should be no mining, or there should be no building, there should be no construction, and that's not really the real world. That's not going to happen. So you have to have a balanced view on it. But yeah, but you know, some deforestation, like in some parts of Asia and stuff like that, that's just out of control. The palm sugar is just, I don't know if you've ever seen any pictures of that, but that's not suburbs, that's hundreds of kilometres that will just never recover. And the animals that we actually, I know it's Australia too, but we actually have projects over there, those animals will never recover. They'll never get back again. So that's where, you know, you need to put, well, we need to put some effort in to try and say, hey, you need to stop that or pull that back, that's not right. We need to find alternatives to what you're doing there. Does that one make sense?
Yeah. How does it affect the wildlife?
It just destroys their habitat. And you have to remember that, you know, everybody thinks, oh, the lovely koala bears and they're all fluffy and cute and stuff like that, and that's great, but if you destroy the habitat of some of the other animals, it has a knock-on effect. There's a really great video that you might be able to look up at the moment going around. If you leave me some details, I'll send it to you, but it's about some wolves that were their habitat was destroyed and they were removed. They were all shot. Have you seen that at all? No. And so what happened was, generations later, they reintroduced the wolves back into their habitat. Well, what happened was, not only did it change the actual environment, but it actually changed the way the rivers and the trees and everything grew, because the wolves ate a certain species of this, and the deer that were coming in and eating the smaller trees didn't come because the wolves were there. So the whole courses of rivers and the entire environment changed when they put that species of animals back into its habitat. So you take one animal out, be it an insect or a koala, and that has a knock-on effect on all the other animals that are in that environment. Yeah. As I say, if you give me some details, I'll send you that video, and it's spectacular to see how that works, impact it has.
What does this mean for the zoo?
A lot of people don't know or don't realise this, but the zoo, they only see this side and they see the show and everybody has a great time. The zoo has projects throughout Australia and throughout the world where we're trying to save the habitat of animals. We had a huge legal battle to stop mining in the territory for the Wenlock River, if you've heard about that one. And eventually won that because that has pristine environment that will never be replaced. There are animals up there, if they'd gone mining in that would have been, you know, made extinct, that you would never have replaced. And they find those sorts of things. So it has a really big impact for the zoo. The zoo's great, and it uses this environment to generate income, I guess, but I don't know if I can say this, Terry Irwin's not a rich person because that money goes back into the environment to save the environment. She gives millions of dollars. She supports families in Asia that are just out protecting the elephants. That's what they do. So you know, those people have jobs because of the Australia Zoo and you guys coming to watch the show, you know. So yeah, it has an enormous impact.
She doesn't keep it for herself, she does it and she puts it towards other programs.
That's right. That's right. Well, for instance, we've got a hospital across the road, an animal hospital, have you seen that? You know, we don't charge for the animals to come in there. They all come in, and it doesn't matter whether it's a koala or a turtle or a snake or a bird or a possum, you know, there's just thousands of animals that come in that are hit by cars or attacked by dogs. They get the same treatment. I've seen the vets over there with a green tree frog, and he had a broken leg, and you think, oh, you know, green tree frog, broken leg. No, nothing was spared. They got a needle actually and cut a needle down to size and made a little pin to insert into his leg and had him in a little, you know, all set up and stuff, and kept him in a humidity crib and stuff like that until he was able to be released back into the wild again. The ultimate aim is if the animals come in and some of them are just too badly injured, it's just, you know, that's again the real world. You can't save every single animal, but once it are saveable, there's no expenses spared. That equipment and treatment and everything over there is exactly the same as you would get if you went to the hospital, you know, operating theatres, and you see stories. You know, I went over there one day and there was a turtle, and he was about a 200-kilo turtle. He was an enormous big turtle, and the smell was just atrocious. And he'd been caught in some fishing line, and he'd lost probably that much of his flipper, so it was just bone sticking out there, and it had been wrapped around his neck and a few other pieces and stuff like that. And they named him Raphael. And I thought, oh, the chances of him surviving are pretty slim. Anyway, they went in and we lifted him up onto the operating table, and they actually removed his whole flipper up to here and fixed up his neck and stuff like that. And then took him out the back. There's tanks out the back, you can see them. Force fed him for a while and stuff like that, and rehabilitated him into the tank. You can't let him go because he couldn't swim, he would just drown. And then people said, oh well, you know, he's missing the flipper, so you can't release him because he'll just swim around in circles. You know, we had experts say that. And we've got a big pool up the back here, you know. And he was swimming around the pool, and it took him a little while, but he figured out that how he could go with just 3 flippers and swim in a straight line. I'm thinking, yeah, no, Raphael's kind of got this sorted. Anyway, once he was strong enough and fit enough, they put a tracker on him. They took him out and released him. They released him off the beach here on the Sunshine Coast. He swam straight, not in a ziggy-zaggy line, straight back where they picked him up on the island, and then you could see his path. He was swimming. He knew where he was, you know. And so that's the sort of story that, you know, that just happens all the time over there, you know. All the things you sort of see. So again, that without Terry Irwin putting that money into that sort of thing, that just wouldn't happen. He would never have gone back. We wouldn't have had the information. You know, we spend a fortune each year on crocodile research up in the Wentworth. We've got a whole team of people go up there and they capture the crocs and they track them. And again, you can see where they go. They travel staggering distances. We track them going down the river and back the ocean and back up again, you know. They all, no, not all of them, some of them go further than others, but yeah, it's amazing to see. And all that sort of stuff, and how long they can stay underwater. Until the zoo spent the money on the research, nobody really knew how long the crocodile could stay underwater, you know. Yeah, once they've done the research, now they've got a good idea that they can stay under for hours, you know. So yeah, all sorts of stuff like that. But that's the knock-on effect, I guess, of having Australia Zoo, you know. Yeah.
What do you believe is the main cause of deforestation?
Us, yeah, we are. There's no doubt about it. We're the main cause. And I know why some people do it. I know why they clear the land to build palm sugar plantations and stuff like that to generate some income. I know why the Amazon is being, you know, cleared. I know why parts of Australia are being cleared. It's a bit harder now for farmers and stuff to do that, but it's people that are doing it, you know. And I guess if you can work with some of those people, you can maybe change some of them, maybe give them different options, you know, maybe give them different crops or do something, but maybe educate us not to eat so much sugar. It might be a start, you know. But,
does it have an effect on our native animals?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and it doesn't matter what you do. Do you guys catch the train into Brisbane? The train? Well, when they put the railway line in, that changed the habitat of some of the koalas. We had people from here go around and actually check the trees and get the animals that we put out and stuff like that and relocate them because we were putting through well, not we, but there was a railway track going through, you know. Yeah, progress and stuff like that is that's why I said when we very first started we need to build a balance, I guess, and
How much you have to cut down.
yeah, that's right. And some places just say no, that's out of bounds. You can't go there anymore. You can't do that. You've got to stop it, you know. And other places go, okay, well, you know, this is the economic benefit from doing this. We'll balance it up, you know, in the real world.
Very good.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Too easy. Send me.